A year and a couple of months since your father walked back down the escalator to announce his candidacy. Do you ever think you'd be here now?
Listen, I've learned not to bet against him, and it's been an honor and a privilege for me to be able to go around the country to meet people who've been so affected and or disaffected, frankly, by, Washington, D.C. politics. But, honestly, for me, for my father, for my brother, for my sister, it's really changed us a lot. When you see people who've gone through what they've gone through, when you see the people who've lost so much hope in their government, and you see that glimmer of hope in their eyes that you may be able to change that around, it's been pretty amazing. So it's been a very humbling and a very special year for us.
We often talk about the commander-in-chief test and whether someone running for president can pass that test. But there's another role, as our Kevin Corke at the White House often points out, the president fulfills, and that is the comforter-in-chief test at times of great national crisis, great national sadness. And you think about Ronald Reagan after the Challenger explosion. You think about Bill Clinton after Columbine and after the Oklahoma City bombing. You think about George W. Bush after 9/11. Give us an anecdote from your childhood that says your father is ready for that role as well.
Well, honestly, you know what? I see it not so much even in the family, because family, that's going to be obvious, but I see it in the way he's treated his employees. We have people that are executives in our organization that started off, they were blue-collar people, but he saw something special in them. I spoke about it at my RNC speech. He saw something in them, whether it was a work ethic, whether it was a sort of innate talent, whether it was a street smarts, and he promoted them. He kept giving them more and more. Now they're high-level executives, but they didn't go to college. They certainly don't have some sort of fancy degree behind their name, and it's that kind of opportunity that they probably, and that kind of talent that they probably didn't even recognize in themselves, that I've seen my father. He sees it, and he latches onto that, and he gives those people opportunities that very few executives, if any, would ever give to someone that didn't have those other qualifications. I've seen him do it time and time again. I think it's that kind of opportunity. I think it's that kind of ability to see something special, to see a talent in someone. That's what America's looking for. That's what America needs to have unleashed in itself, because there's so much potential there that's just been kept down by the elite in D.C., by over-regulation, by bureaucrats sitting in air-conditioned offices in the Beltway, telling people around the country how they should be running their business and making them have teams of lawyers and accountants to be able to do basic tasks. That's what America's sick of.
I need to get in one more question, and it dovetails off of this. So many folks that we talk to, even Republicans, a young millennial Republican we had on the show last hour, said, look, I think Hillary Clinton's a liar. I think she's a terrible person. I think she's a criminal. All things that your father has said that she agrees with. At the same time, though, she says she is not yet convinced because of sort of, shall we say, his unorthodox campaign style at times. Where's the disconnect between the man you just described, who's promoting the young blue-collar worker up to be senior executives, and what this young woman, who's an undecided voter in Florida, saw about your father? What's the closing argument the next 3 days?
Listen, I think the disconnect is, they haven't seen him in that capacity. The old walk softly but carry a big stick. Well, we're in a situation where you have to use the big stick, okay? My father coming in as an outsider, taking on the liberal media, taking on the Clinton machine, taking on the corruption, taking on the D.C. elite on both sides. That's a rare opportunity. That's not something we're going to get again in our lifetime. Someone who's willing to take on the system, an outsider who can come in and fight his way to the top to do that. So, he has had to be a fighter, but I've also seen him be an incredible grandfather. I've seen him be a father. I've seen him be a comforter. So he can do both. But I don't think you could do it in this process against the odds that he's fought against the machines that he's fought against. And all we want to do is end the corruption in D.C. We knew it was going on, but we're running against the most corrupt candidate in the history of the presidency, and I think the American people have had enough of that.
Well, certainly a number of the voters in Florida we've heard and talked to here on Miami Beach have expressed that. Donald Trump Jr. from Trump Tower, I know you got a long 72 hours ahead of you on the campaign trail. Good luck, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.